Please subscribe.
When Honda launched its Acura brand in the mid-1980s, it hit the streets strutting with a pair of sporty, luxury-leaning models powered by state-of-the-art engines. The legend sedan SOHC 24-valve 2.5-liter V6 was one of Honda's first swings at the engine type, while the beloved and multiple 10 best cars winning Integra hatchback had a DOHC 16-valve 1.6-liter inline-four, racy stuff for 1986. Then, Acura busted out the 1991 NSX, a four-wheeled aluminum ingot of speed that walked right up to the supercar gentry, tapped on their storied badges, and said, "Look what I can do." A decade on, however, Acura's core mission seemed to have been lost in a haze of alphanumeric naming schemes, too close for comfort rebadged Hondas, and SUV dreams. The showroom offerings had lost the spark and focus of the first-generation Acuras. Today, the executives leading the company assure us that Acura has been through a period of deep introspection and is now working to restore its place in the automotive universe. The 2017 NSX was the first step, and the refresh for 2018 TLX sports sedan reviewed here is the follow-up. Future now. For starters, the TLX's chrome beak front end has been restyled to include a genuine mesh grille. The front fenders have been reshaped and the V6 model's rear bumper resculpted. Engine choices are unchanged. Buyers may select either the 206 horsepower 2.4-liter inline-four mated to an 8-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission, which interestingly also employs a torque converter, or the 290 horsepower 3.5-liter V6 paired with a conventional 9-speed automatic that has been reprogrammed for 2018. Premium fuel is recommended for both engines. Front-wheel drive models have Acura's Precision All-Wheel Steer (PAWS) as standard equipment, while its super handling all-wheel drive setup (SHAWD) with torque vectoring now can be added to any V6 model for a reasonable $2,000. Previously, AWD required first selecting the technology option package. The tech package adds navigation and HD radio with digital traffic to the 2.4-liter car. The V6 model also gets contrast seat stitching, a powered thigh support extender for the driver, and chrome door sill trim. Further simplifying things, the Acura Watch suite of safety and driver assistance features, lane keeping assist, forward collision warning, automated emergency braking, adaptive cruise control, lane departure warning, mitigation, is standard across the entire lineup, as is a redesigned infotainment interface with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatibility. The infotainment still has the potentially confusing dual screens, but the lower, 7.0-inch display now has capacitive touch operation. Acura claims a 30% faster response time, and while we can't verify that stat, it felt subjectively quicker. Specs. We drove a TLX V6 A-Spec with SHAWD to see whether Acura's renewed interest in precision-crafted performance is evident in what is essentially a midterm refresh of a vehicle that hasn't left much of an impression since it arrived for 2015. The A-Spec is the one for folks who actually like to drive, positioned, in Acura's words, off to the side of the TLX V6 tech and the comfort and feature-focused V6 Advance. Interior features include NSX-inspired red or black leather seating with faux suede trim, a chunky leather-wrapped steering wheel, ventilated front seats, and a wireless charging pad for portable devices. The exterior gets LED fog lamps, dark chrome trim on the grille, matte black window surrounds, a black decked spoiler, and a full complement of A-Spec badges. The 2018 TLX is available in 8 exterior colors, including the alluring A-Spec exclusive Still Night Blue Pearl test vehicle. All nice touches, but the A-Spec sporting hardware was our primary concern. Acura didn't have any other versions of the car on hand for evaluation, but we'll test them as soon as they're available. The transformation begins with ditching the V6 car's standard 18-inch wheels and 50 series rubber for a set of 19-inch wheels shod with 40 series Michelin Primacy MXM4V rated tires. These A-spec rims are 8.0 inches wide instead of 7.5. Dampers with revised valve tuning are teamed with higher spring rates and reworked bushings to deliver sharper responses and reduced body motions, says Acura. The rear anti-roll bar also gets a bump, increasing in diameter from 24.7 to 25.4 mm. Curiously, while all A-spec TLXs get the firmer dampers, only AWD A-specs get the firmer springs and the thicker anti-roll bar. The A-spec's electrically assisted power steering, a 15.1:1 rack ratio in AWD cars, 14.6:1 in two-wheel drive models, has been modified for better on-center feel and to maintain responsiveness at speeds above 42 miles per hour. A more accurate Acura. The cumulative effect of these changes is significant. The revised on-center tuning lends a refined touch and makes for truer straight-line tracking requiring fewer minute corrections than in any previous TLX we've driven. Turn-in, too, is sharper. The A-spec responds quickly and accurately to inputs at any speed. The biggest revelation comes in long, high-speed sweepers where the car rewards looking deep into the turn with true tracking of even minimal steering inputs. At lower speeds, the SOHC system does a good job of apportioning to work fore and aft as well as across the rear axle to sharpen turn-in, letting the driver keep the pedal down without inducing squealing tires. SOHC relies on an electronic brain that evaluates numerous parameters: engine torque, transmission gear, wheel speed, steering angle, lateral acceleration, yaw rate, and more, delivered from the relevant system EQs to determine optimal torque distribution. Up to 90% can be sent forward during normal operation, and 70% can be shifted rearward when called on. The key to super handling, however, is the system's ability to toggle 100% of the rear torque between the rear wheels. In operation it's virtually seamless, requiring only a small initial leap of faith on the driver's part before he or she is able to completely exploit its capabilities. Powertrains. As mentioned, little has changed with the V6 and its attendant transmission. Acceleration is brisk, with 290 horsepower and 267 pounds-to-foot of torque from the naturally aspirated V6. We've measured 5.7 seconds for the 0 to 60 mph run from a pre-update model. There are 4 driving modes: Econ, Normal, and Sport provide smooth, unobtrusive operation, while Sport Plus switches to the most aggressive mapping and holds gears longer in all situations. Ratios are stacked tightly, making it fun to employ the wheel-mounted paddle shifters. Sport Plus switches to manual mode with the first tug of a lever and holds it until the driver instructs otherwise. It also allows for double downshifts. In the less aggressive settings, the transmission returns to drive after a few moments of inactivity. Numerous algorithms run in the background, optimizing transmission operation to suppress upshifts during spirited cornering and to hold gears while climbing and descending steep grades. If it sounds like a lot of electronic tomfoolery that will only try to put a lid on the fun, we're here to tell you that's not the case. The A-spec we drove had delightfully little wind and road noise in the cabin, thanks in part to the active noise control system. Other audio tricks, and less desirable ones in our book, include adding a more ruffian growl to the engine soundtrack in Sport and Sport Plus modes and, in the A-spec, increasing engine noise in the cabin by up to 4 decibels, says Acura. We like engine sounds, but we prefer them to be real. Acura seems to be rediscovering the balance and flow that makes a vehicle engaging to drive. The real question is how much people will pay for it. The 2018 TLX line will go on sale in June and start at $34,000, but stepping into an AWD A-spec will cost $45,750, territory occupied by the usual gang of entry-level European sports sedan competitors. The Acura makes a more compelling case for itself than before, however, with a chassis that is better at facilitating a good time.